They didn't just block me, they deleted me like I was a mistake. Christmas morning, I opened my phone expecting a Merry Christmas text, but instead I saw a group chat I wasn't even in anymore. My entire family had removed me from the group. No explanation, no warning, just gone, like I never existed to them. My sister posted family photos with the caption, "Whole family together." But I wasn't in a single picture. Before you scroll, if you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or left out by your own blood, this story is going to hit you deep. Like, subscribe, and stay till the end, because Nora's revenge wasn't loud, but the world heard it. I stared at that screen, my heart pounding like I'd been punched in the chest. My mom used to say, "Family first." Now they were pretending I didn't exist. All because I didn't follow the perfect plan, didn't become a doctor like my brother, didn't marry rich like my cousin. And worst of all, I quit the family business to chase a dream they all said would fail. A dream I kept quiet for years. A dream they laughed at when I pitched it at Thanksgiving 2 years ago. My dad actually said, "We didn't raise you to be average." The worst part? I believed them for a long time. I believed maybe I was average. I stopped showing them my progress. I went silent. And that's when everything changed. I built in the shadows. Sleepless nights. No weekends. I coded my own software platform, took small freelance projects, reinvested every dollar. Nobody knew I had landed 3 government contracts by October. Nobody knew I had a tech solution that was about to get national attention. But that morning, sitting alone in my apartment with no family, no invite, not even a call, something inside me snapped. Not in rage, but in power. They blocked me? Fine. But the whole country was about to see my face that night. And so were they. I didn't go to their Christmas dinner. I didn't call. I didn't beg. Instead, I walked into a TV studio in downtown Chicago with my name on the guest list and a microphone already waiting. Channel 7 had reached out 2 weeks ago after my cybersecurity app blocked a major ransomware attack on a local hospital. They wanted to feature me in a Christmas Eve segment, a hometown hero who saved Christmas. I had said yes quietly. Now it meant everything. The makeup artist asked, "Do you want to mention your family on air?" I smiled and said, "No need. They'll know." The show started. Bright lights, live camera, and me, Nora Thompson, the ordinary girl with the extraordinary solution. I spoke about the app I built, the hospitals it protected, and how we're expanding nationwide. The host asked, "How did you come up with this?" I looked right into the camera and said, "I was tired of being ignored, so I made something they couldn't ignore." At that exact moment, I knew my family was watching, because back at home, my cousin Jenna was live tweeting the show. My brother's fiancée, Olivia, posted a shocked story. "Wait, is this Nora?" And then, my mom texted me, after a full year of silence, just one line, "Why didn't you tell us?" But I didn't reply. Not yet. Because as the host thanked me and the credits rolled, I had one more surprise lined up. The segment ended with the announcement: my company, Shield Logic, had just secured a federal grant worth $8.2 million. I didn't say it. The host did. Loud, clear, public. My aunt, who once called my startup a waste of time, messaged me a heart emoji. I didn't even open it. And just when I thought the night couldn't get better, something unexpected happened. A name popped up on my phone. Dad. A name I hadn't seen in over a year. He was calling. I stared at the screen, watching his name vibrate across my phone like a ghost from a past I thought I'd buried. My hands didn't shake. My heart didn't race. I just waited. Let it ring. Once. Twice. I didn't pick up. Let him feel what silence tastes like. The same silence he left me in the night I walked out of that house, carrying nothing but a laptop and a plan they all mocked. A minute later, a text came through. Dad, we saw the news. Come by tomorrow, let's talk. I laughed. Out loud. The same man who told me I'd never make it without family guidance. The same man who said, no one takes a woman seriously in tech unless her daddy pulls strings. Now he wanted a meeting? Tomorrow? But I didn't delete the message. I thought about it. Not out of revenge, but strategy. I wasn't the same Nora who used to beg for approval. I was calculated now. So I replied with just 2 words. Me. Family dinner? His response was instant. Dad. Everyone will be there. We want to understand everything. We're proud of you. Proud? Proud wasn't what I wanted. I wanted truth. I wanted them to say they were wrong, that they doubted the wrong daughter, that they had no idea the girl they mocked would one day own a company sitting at the top of the Department of Homeland Security's preferred vendors list. I wanted them to choke on their fake compliments while chewing turkey, so I said yes. The next night, I drove up to the family house, the same one I used to sneak out of just to breathe. I parked my matte black Tesla outside their colonial brick driveway, the one they used to tell me I'd never afford because I wasn't practical. Their porch lights were already on. Inside, I could hear laughter, clinking glasses, Christmas music, like nothing ever happened. I walked in without knocking. Suddenly, everything stopped. Forks froze midair. Conversations cut off like someone yanked a plug. My mother was the first to speak. Nora. Just that. No hug, no apology. Just my name, like it weighed differently now. My sister stood up, wide-eyed. My cousin, who once called me delusional, dropped her champagne glass. My brother, always the favorite, tried to act casual. Saw you on the news, he said. Pretty cool. Thanks, I smiled. Busy week? Just signed a multi-million-dollar defense contract. Oh, and I'm moving to DC. My dad cleared his throat, pretending to be calm. We just want to understand how all of this happened. Why you didn't tell us. I stepped forward, slow and deliberate. You only listen when the world listens. I didn't need you to believe in me. I just needed you to stay out of my way. And before they could react, I pulled out the second surprise of the night, an envelope, slid it across the table toward my dad. What's this? He asked. It's the offer letter, I said, to buy out the family business. Dead silence. His hands trembled as he opened it. Inside was a signed letter from my legal team. The valuation, $4.7 million. Cash offer, immediate transfer. No strings attached. You want to buy our company? He whispered. No, I smiled. I already did. The paperwork was finalized this morning. And then I looked at each one of them, every cousin, sibling, uncle, aunt, and said the line I'd waited years to say, Merry Christmas. Nobody moved. It was like time froze in that living room, wrapped in gold tinsel and fake smiles. My dad stared at the papers like they were written in fire. My mom's mouth opened slightly, but no sound came out. My sister blinked, trying to process the numbers on the page. And my cousin, oh, the same one who once told me at Easter dinner that tech isn't a real career, she finally found her voice. You bought the company? How? With what money? I didn't answer her. I turned to my father. You remember when you told me I was too emotional to run a business? That I didn't have what it takes to lead men, handle clients, close deals? He didn't answer either, but his silence screamed enough. Funny, I continued, because the same military clients who ignored your emails begged to sign with me once I walked into the room. My brother finally spoke, his voice quiet. So, what happens now? I looked around, making sure every single one of them was listening. Now, nothing happens. Except, you all now work for me. Someone coughed. A fork clinked on a plate. My aunt looked like she was going to faint. My dad tried to recover, putting on his CEO face. Look, Nora, this is still your family. You don't have to do this. I raised an eyebrow. Did you think of that when you cut me off from the business? When you blocked me? When you told everyone I'd fail and embarrassed me in front of half the town at that fundraising event? He didn't respond. I don't need an apology, I added. I just need everyone to understand. I'm not the same Nora you left out in the cold. You buried me. But I wasn't dead. I was just growing roots. Olivia, my brother's fiancée, who had always been strangely kind to me, leaned in from across the table. Honestly, I Googled you the night you were on TV. Do you know what came up? I gave her a look. Try me. She pulled out her phone. Forbes 30 under 30. Cybersecurity rising stars. TechCrunch feature. Shield Logic valued at $45 million. She looked around. Did any of you even ask what she was building while you were mocking her? Nobody answered. And then came the final blow. Olivia turned to my brother. You lied to me. You told me Nora left because she couldn't handle pressure. That she quit the business because she didn't want to work hard. She looked back at me. I'm sorry. I didn't expect that. But I nodded, appreciating the rare moment of honesty. Then, my mom finally spoke. Her voice small, brittle. I didn't know. I thought you'd come back when you failed. I never imagined you'd win. I looked at her. Years of pain behind my eyes. That's the thing, Mom. You were never supposed to imagine me winning. You were supposed to support me whether I did or didn't. Everyone was quiet again. Then I stood up, straightened my coat, and walked to the door. You all have a company meeting at 9 a.m. Monday, I said as I opened it. Don't be late. Your new boss hates excuses. And with that, I stepped out into the cold air. But this time, I wasn't alone. I had the world behind me. I walked down those familiar stone steps, the same ones I used to sit on as a teenager, wondering if I'd ever be enough. But this time, I didn't feel small. I didn't feel left out. I felt untouchable. The weight that used to crush my chest whenever I thought of my family, gone, replaced by something stronger. Clarity. The moment I reached my car, my phone buzzed again. Emails, calls, interviews, offers. My Christmas Eve segment had gone viral, 1.2 million views overnight. The world saw what my family refused to for years, and now everyone wanted a piece of Shield Logic. Of me. Investors, press, partnerships. But what caught my eye wasn't a business email. It was from my little cousin Lily. She was only 14. Her message was simple. I want to be like you. I froze. That was the moment I knew this wasn't just revenge. It was legacy. I hadn't just made a point. I'd created a path. One that showed the next girl in the family, the next underdog, the next weird tech kid. That silence isn't failure, and being ignored isn't the end. It's just the start of something bigger if you let it be. Later that week, I walked into the company boardroom. My boardroom now. The same place they'd once refused to let me speak. Everyone was seated when I entered. Suits, nervous faces, and my father at the far end of the table, not in the CEO seat anymore. That was mine now. I placed my laptop on the table and began the meeting with one sentence. Let's talk about the future, one where everyone who's underestimated someone like me will regret it. And from that day forward, things changed. We rebranded the company, hired women, interns from underrepresented backgrounds, implemented mental health leave, flexible hours, startup grants. I turned the toxic empire they built into a place I would have felt safe in at 22. As months passed, the media labeled me the quiet billionaire, but behind that quiet was a fire. Behind that smile on Christmas night was a girl who had been blocked, mocked, and pushed out, only to own everything they thought she'd lose. And in the end, I didn't just win. I changed the game.